It often feels like the Sharks are just one or two ingredients away from being much better. What do you think they're missing? Scoring-wise, this year they've had Karlsson emerge to be the offensive defenseman that he was always touted to be. But look, Erik Karlsson is doing something this year that, he's never done this before at this level. 4 different 4-point games, on pace for, somewhere between 100 and 110 points. He's never done this. So let's be real. He has been, Norris Trophy winner, that caliber, that elite caliber of player, but he's never been out of his mind like right now. And Timo Meier has emerged. Obviously, the pace for 40. I don't know where and when, how he'll finish the year, what team he'll be on. Just saying. But I think, to your point, and I said this about the Sharks in watching them last year, they had trouble scoring on a regular basis. And with all the drama surrounding Evander Kane, I always felt like, and they were, they had him under contract. They just, for certain reasons, chose not to welcome him to the group. But it was like a player, forget Evander, I'm just saying, take the mock-up of the player and what he's capable of and, 35 goals in a year. That's what I thought they were missing last year. And that was a different, obviously a different team. Brent Burns was still on it, but I felt like that was what they were missing last year. That would have helped them take some steps, get a little bit closer. I'm not sure that it, was going to put them in a playoff spot, but that was a missing ingredient, another bona fide goal scorer. Well, guess what? I feel like they're kind of still in that same position here this year. Now, obviously, Evander is long departed and everything's been cleared up. And sometimes I wish it were, Logan having an unreal lights out season. I wish Logan were on the 30-plus goal pace, or same thing for Tomas Hertl. But it's only been Timo, and it's really only been Karlsson. And actually, you could kind of narrow it down to this. That old question, where would the Sharks be without so-and-so? James Reimer, Erik Karlsson, Timo Meier. And guess what? All 3 of those players, in my mind, are front and center as it relates to trade speculation right now on the Sharks. The stats may not always indicate what James Reimer has meant, but if you watch on a night-after-night basis, he keeps them in the game. He keeps them competitive almost single-handedly sometimes. Defensive miscue. Opposition's got 1 or 2 or 3 good looks. Reimer there with the save. He ices the puck. Crisis averted. I think James Reimer, and I don't know what a trade for Reims would return at this point. I don't know, but I could see why he'd be desired by other, cup contenders, insurance piece, just like the Sharks wanted him back in 2016, right? That's what San Jose went out and acquired, was James Reimer to be Martin Jones's backup just in case. And obviously Karlsson, with what he's been doing and fueling the offense, remove him. Where are the Sharks in the standings this year? Or even remove his performance. Keep him here, but remove his performance. I don't know where they're at. And the same thing with Timo. But to answer your question and to go back to it, they just don't have enough goal scorers. And I think in tandem with that, they still make a lot of defensive mistakes. They also make turnovers that lead to defensive mistakes because they weren't prepared to be playing without the puck in a split second. But I think, like a lot of teams, and I think this is a wholesale answer, but one more bona fide goal scorer that you can count on. I think, to your point, when we say there are 1 or 2 ingredients from being much better, I think what we're saying is, not bottom of the Pacific Division standings or, 7th or wherever they've been hovering lately, but 3rd, 4th, 5th, somewhere in the middle of the pack, like in position that they could make a push and it would matter, right? That's what we're talking about them being. Much better, midway up the standings. I agree. I think 1 goal scorer, if you could duplicate Timo Meier, right? If you had 2 Timos on the team, That is I think what you're saying here is they'd be in a different spot. Not entirely, like not planning their postseason round one opponent, but they'd be in a much different spot.